Microsoft's strategy, I think, is selling software to as many places as you can. That's what I think. I think that's Microsoft's strategy, which is why everything you're saying feels woefully out of step. When I read this report and I see what Phil Spencer's saying, I'm like, no, bro, no. They're moving forward. They're moving forward to software sales. They want to be a game publisher. Microsoft can afford to lose at the beginning to gain later. That's not an argument, bro. That's not an argument. They're really wealthy, so they can lose money at the beginning, gain it later. You think their shareholders are going to have that? You think they're going to be okay with that? Yeah, no, that's fine. Our share value can plummet. We can lose millions of dollars. No, that's fine. Microsoft can afford to do this. What are you talking about? They can't. No, they can't do that. You can't just take it on the chin. Microsoft has admitted that they can't convert users. Yeah, they literally admitted that they've tried to convert people to their platform and they can't do it. Cody with a $20 tip through Super Chat. If the argument is COD coming to Game Pass will sweep PlayStation players over, you're forgetting Game Pass includes PC. I'd say more likely PC base swells over Xbox. PS players not moving consoles for one game. Not to mention they'd have to buy a new console and then buy the subscription. Like you're having to do two purchases instead of just buying the game. They can convert users. Ow. They've tried and then they've been unable. This is what's happening, Amos. You are still in the stands cheering for a game that's over. You're like, they can still do it. They can convert users. They can make COD exclusive. And Microsoft's like, the game's over, bro. We're over here now. We're not doing that. No. We're playing a completely different game. Our game is that we can't beat Sony and Nintendo in a hardware land war. We can't beat them. We can't beat them with hardware distribution. We can't convert their users. So, I tell you what we do. We're going to buy up some of the biggest games in the dadgum world, and we're going to sell them on all those platforms. Sony's doing a great bang-up job of saturating the market with hardware. Let's own one of the most successful pieces of property that's sold on that ecosystem. Let's make money from the users that we can't convert. It's an amazing strategy. They can always convert users. In the 360 era, Xbox gained market share and PlayStation lost it. Like I said, I feel like I'm talking to a glory days quarterback. You are just... You're out of touch with what's happening, in my opinion. I don't feel like you're looking at the big picture. You literally think that they're going to do something that they said they're not doing. You're telling me right now they're going to do something and they can do something. They're telling you that they're not doing that. We can't convert the users. That's not our strategy. That's not it. Kubini Gaming with a $5 tip through Super Chat. Phil said, as long as there's PlayStation console, COD will be on it, and he wants it on the Switch also. That's exactly what I'm getting at, Kubini. They want to sell software, and they want to sell it everywhere. You're talking about an old strategy, old playbook. It's like you woke up from a coma, and you came to the business meeting, and you're using the old playbook. They're not using that playbook anymore. Because when they say they can't, they are lying. Okay, so now you've displayed that you're taking up an unfalsifiable position and it's not worth debating you. You are unworthy of debate. You have taken up an unfalsifiable position. Because when I point to evidence that they say we can't convert them, you're like, they're lying. Well, with respect, you're not worth talking to. Because as soon as you're faced with evidence that's contrary to your beliefs, you literally claim the company that you're defending is lying. No, yeah, that's false. That's false. They're lying. They can convert people. Why? Because I believe in it. Oh, okay. I mean, you can clap as much as you want, man. This ain't Peter Pan, and this ain't Neverland, bro. That you've been faced with facts against your claim, and your unfalsifiable position says, nope, they're lying. Microsoft's lying. Okay. So is anything they say trustworthy then? So why are you defending them? 21 months from Kat. Welcome back, Kat. Thank you for 21 months of membership. Like, when you take up a position and then evidence comes out and you're like, oh, they're lying, then why are you even talking about this? Because what's reliable from Microsoft? What are you basing your opinion on? If Phil Spencer and Microsoft and earnings calls and interviews and press briefings, if none of that's trustworthy, because when Microsoft says we can't convert those people to our platform, if they're lying when they say that, then none of it's trustworthy. So what's the point of even having the discussion? So it's impossible for Microsoft to make Call of Duty exclusive. Why? I've already explained why. Now you're doing the tactic of, I've lost the argument, so I'm going to wear him out by making him restate his case. It must be your first day here if you think you're going to wear me out. If they cannot make Call of Duty exclusive because they have said their business plan and strategy for it is to sell it on PlayStation as long as PlayStation exists. Prior to them saying that, Microsoft went on record saying it would not be profitable for them to do that. They have a fiduciary duty to their shareholders, and if they suddenly cut off that amount of revenue, they'd have to justify the loss. You're talking about billions of dollars. You're talking about, according to Microsoft, if they shrunk the footprint of Call of Duty, it would invalidate their purchase of Activision Blizzard. That's why they can't do it. That's them saying that. They said if they made Call of Duty exclusive, it would invalidate the purchase. That's why it's not possible, bro. Again, you're out there fighting the good fight for Microsoft, and they're like, "We're not. What are you doing? What are you doing? That's not what we're doing. That's not our strategy." That means the Activision Blizzard deal will go through without restrictions? I don't know. I'm not a regulator. The UK's finishing up, and then the EU is going to get their hands on them. Phil thinks it goes through middle of next year. He's confident it goes through. I think it goes through as long as they build enough confidence in the regulators that they won't restrict the market. Your channel's better than people with 500,000? Give me a couple years. I'll get up there. I appreciate that. Morning, Lono. The man with both hands on the wheel, while those on the left and the right are pulling as hard as they can to make the vehicle crash. Yeah, as far as the deal going through, I think it goes through as long as they can convince the regulators they won't restrict the market, because that was the biggest concern. The biggest concern was Call of Duty. Like, are you going to if you restrict that game, that's tectonic to the market itself. And they've said 10 times over that they're not going to do it. Just can't wait to come back at the end of this generation. I'm going to have a laugh. A laugh about what? Vengeance with a $10 tip through Super Chat. There's been a lot of stuff said today, and I'm kind of dumb, but my takeaway from this is that there's a universe somewhere where Sony doesn't exist, and that gives me hope. That's good. That's good, Vengeance. Vengeance is a big Xbox fan. That's funny. That's well done.